that also shows that in that era, kids weren't so distracted with technology and social media. And so you had really time to think, be mentally bored and think about life instead of being on this constant stimulation or distraction. And I think the youth these days are missing out on a huge opportunity by constantly being distracted and constantly being stimulated. Unplugging is huge. Now with this AI generated imagery and video, it's not just pictures, it's full on video.
It's full on video.
Right? And I've seen a full movie, like a 15-minute movie of an AI generated deal, like sci-fi movie. And so like it creates, unless you come in with a heavy dose of skepticism, you may be misled in a huge and detrimental way. Society where they were confusing genders and morality went down the toilet, hyperinflation, bread was like $1,000 a loaf, something crazy. Just like that, where do you think we're headed if we stay on the same path? Yo, what is up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win, affectionately called Ninja or Prolific Ninja. By my family and friends, and because my fans are my friends too, you all can call me Ninja as well. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the Alpha to the Omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, self-development, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Oh my God, we are officially here. Episode 100. Man, I am so stoked. So stoked. Got a very special episode for you today, but just celebration mode right now. Episode 100. It's been 2 years going. Lots to talk about with episode 100. But before I want to get into that, as you all know, or if you're new to the show, I always start each show with an expression of gratitude, the same way I start my day. If you're new to the show, every morning I wake up, thank God, the universe, for another day, to have an opportunity to be great, to inspire people, to bring this podcast to you with our mission, which is to inspire billions of lives across the planet to live to their fullest controllable potential. And that includes you. And so I want to say thank you all for listening, commenting, following, sharing, subscribing. We're reaching, they say it takes over 400 recordings or episodes to get to 1 million. We are well on our way. We're close to 30,000 followers across all platforms. Thousands of hours viewed. So that's all because of you all. So thank you all very much. If you're new to the show, I do this on my own dime, on my own time. I spend my own money, my own time. There's a crew, whole production. I'm sitting in front of 4 video cameras right now. So there's a lot of money being spent on this. And so without any sponsorship. So the only way to grow our show is with you all. And I like to say the fee to pay for this free information is to share the show. If you found anything humorous, you found value, learned something, change your life just by 0.0001%, please restore that karmic balance by sharing the show. You gained something, now it's time to give something. Please do share the show. I like to say, if you're knowledge swole, share the show. That is how we grow. So here we are. We have multiple types of shows. This one is going to be kind of an amalgamation of all of them. Usually it's me giving, 15, 20 minutes on a monologue of some type of self-improvement or self-development topic. I have guests that came on just our last episode 99, with Austin Wolf and the Wolf Collection. Gosh, such beautiful cars. And his place, Porky's Backyard, and his entrepreneurship story with his dad and how he grew up in entrepreneurship. And then we also have shows where I bring on my producer as a co-host, to do prolific Q&A, where you send in questions and we answer it, or POV, which is a commentary on current events. And so today it's kind of a blend of all that. Because it is episode 100, we are celebrating. We're going to do mainly prolific POV with my guest and producer, my guy for 2 years straight, Arib Mirza, who runs Focus Video. This guy's been with me since day one. Almost day one. I tried recording like 2 or 3 episodes on my own, and he's like, dude, you need my help. And I'm like, yeah, y'all probably do. But Arib Mirza, you can find him on Instagram, Arib, AREEB .Mirza, MIRZA for his personal. Posts a lot of great content, but then you also can find him at Focus, FOKUS.vid, where he gives a lot of tutorials, a lot of information on videography, social media posting, and a wealth of experience. Arib, man.
How's it going?
Congratulations, dude. Episode 100, bro.
Episode 100.
When I found this guy, so this tells you how the universe works, right? If you're paying attention. I started podcasts. I tried to do 2 or 3 on my own in a rented out studio. Immediately, whether through algorithms or whatever, Arib's sponsored post goes up in my feed, and he's offering unlimited video editing for a monthly price of like $500 or whatever. I'm like, yes. But this guy, contrary to what you see around us right now in his studio, he's walking around with a backpack and a video camera, virtual office, just a hustler, entrepreneur. And I said, man, I know I could work with this guy. If he's willing to go anywhere, do whatever, I would call him up. Hey, man, meet me here. I got to do something. He'd meet me there. I got this. I would change schedules at the last second because of whatever, something pops up. No problem, dude. Whenever, just let me know. So, that's how it started. And to watch him grow, probably mostly from my fees, because it went from a few $100 to several thousand a month, because he's managing all my business social medias as well, and video content. The relationship has been very good. Man, how do you feel about it? It's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years. Feel fantastic.
Yeah.
Just glad to see that, we can post it on a more consistent basis, getting not only that, just having the reels out, making sure it's on people's feed every day, and it's a good message.
Yeah.
We're not trying to like sell anything or it's just pure value.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, that was the intent, right? Mm-hmm. So like just bringing value and inspiring people. But episode 100, man, there's so many things to unpack with 100 before we get into POV. I know you got some interesting topics. I just want to share the feedback from me personally, like the top 3 lessons I've learned. I mean, we've been doing this 2 years straight almost. Yeah. Haven't missed a week yet, right? And so one of the valuable things for you all out there, the lesson is be consistent. Be consistent. And not only that, but be intentionally consistent, meaning there have been many days where I'm like, dude, I don't want to record. I don't even know what to talk about. No. Arib was like, dude, you got to come in. We got to keep the algorithm going. I'm like, damn, what are we going to talk about? And we just came in and did it anyways. But it's just like going to the gym. If you're consistent, you're going to see the result. You don't see it right away. And the days you don't want to go to the gym, you can go and mail it in and go through the motions, which is better than not going.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get the max effect. And so when I say being intentionally consistent, is like, if you're going to do it to 100%, despite how you feel about not wanting to do it. So don't just mail it in like, I'm here, let me go through it and do it. It's like, okay, this sucks. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to go do it. Now that I've made the decision to go do it with complete intent to be the best and do the best you can possibly be, right? That's the key here. Over, like I said, consistently shooting reels every week, consistently shooting these episodes every week, consistently posting every week. It's only through that consistency that you don't see it at the moment, but when you look back, you're like, damn, we did a lot, right? It's like when I walked to Juniper, my daughter, 5-year-old, just started kindergarten last fall. We walked to school every day, and it's probably a mile walk, and we'll just be walking along, and then she'll be like, Dad, turn around. And I'll be like, why? She says, look how far we've walked. And, it's just that. It's just one step in front of the other, and you don't realize how far you're going. But then when you turn around, it's like, damn, we did a lot. Yeah, so that's the first. I mean, the first thing is consistency with intent. The second one is do it with gratitude, man. Like every episode, I express gratitude to the audience, gratitude to you guys, gratitude to the guests. It's just being grateful puts you in a whole different mental state. It's like when I feel like I don't want to come in here, it's like then I switch off and say, man, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to do this. Yeah. Grateful for the team here, grateful for the team in my law firm and the team that in all my projects that from their work allows me the time to come in here. So just doing it with gratitude. restores that. And then the last thing, man, is like being authentic. I think authenticity is in the world of social media and trying to put up a produced front. Being authentic, I think, sets you apart.
It does.
The authenticity allows people to see the trueness of the message versus a quote packaged message. You know what I'm saying? And so to be authentic, you gotta get to the point where you don't care what people think, because you're trying to be, because you're never gonna make everybody happy.
You're not.
There's like usually half the people agree with you, half the people like, you know, they want to argue with you almost. And so, or many times they do want to argue with you. So just being authentic and not caring what people think will allow the right people to resonate to you, your audience, or in your circle of friends or family or coworkers or whatever. If you're just authentic, you're going to push off the people that don't like you. And that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Because why would you want to have people that don't like you in your circle anyways?
exactly.
And so then you have to act inauthentic, right? To keep them there. No, you want to just be authentic. And then the people that will naturally gravitate will gravitate. And that's who you want to keep anyways.
Yeah.
So, you know, that, and so being authentic in the end-to-end podcast message, that just staying with it rather than, hey, what do people want to hear? It's going to be, this is just what I want to talk
Yeah.
about.
Would you rather be with inauthentic people or by yourself?
I'd rather be by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's too much energy to try to please everybody. Like really, it's just. And the thing is if you're working so hard to please people, inevitably there will be something you do. Like they could be with you for years,
Yeah.
and it's an inauthentic relationship. So if you do something wrong, that could end just like that, right? So that's just wasted energy and time where you could be spending on yourself. Like the best investment of time is on yourself, spent on yourself. Selfishly, to become better, because when you become better for the people around you. It's like it's a counterintuitive view, but the more you work on yourself for self-development, I'm not saying be greedy with material things. I'm saying the more you be greedy with your time to work on yourself, the more authentic and real you can be to help others.
Yeah.
And that's more expounding or more exponential.
Yeah. I think there was a quote I really liked.
Yeah.
It was called,
Hopefully it's mine.
it was, unexpected expectations lead to future resentments.
Unexpected expectations lead to future resentment. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I always say there's somebody always watching, right? So when people are watching you, they have a expectation of you or from you.
Yeah.
Right? They've already built it in. Whether they realize it or not, subconsciously, there's an expectation of, well, I know him, he's going to do this. But then if you do something different, that's like, oh my God, he's somebody else, different.
Yeah.
Right? And so unexpected expectation creates resentment, is because when it's unexpected, you don't live up to the expectation. So then that builds resentment in the observer.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why other than in a work environment, like in a social, I try not to have any expectation.
Yeah. Or
How's this
lay it
event
out,
going to go? I don't know.
Yeah. Or just lay it out there.
Or just lay it out there.
Yeah.
Say, this is what well, in a professional environment,
Professionally.
you got to lay it out there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this, especially with delegation or working in a team, is like, this is my expectation of what we're getting out of this action. But around social environments and things, it's just usually people hey, what do you think is going to happen? I don't know, man. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? You got to observe it and respond, but don't react, right? We talked about that. But you observe it and respond. It is what it is. Because once you built in an expectation, you're essentially biasing the outcome.
Yeah. You're trying to predict.
You're trying to predict, and so you pre-bias your reaction to what you predict is going to happen. I'm talking about socially, I'm not talking about strategically.
Yeah.
I'm talking about social environments versus like just letting things occur naturally. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, man, those are the top 3 lessons. I'm sure there's going to be more as I in future episodes talking about episode 100. Man, I'm just stoked. Episode 100.
Episode 100.
I mean, there's been like at least 4 or 5 times like, bro, we haven't recorded and we can't skip a week. We got to record. I'm like, fuck. All right, let's go. Let's go record.
There was 1 week where we almost missed.
Well, 1 week we almost
Yeah,
missed. I think
we
I was
almost
sick,
missed.
weather, something like that. I don't know, man. It was like, oh,
but
damn.
but we still posted.
We posted
We
something.
No, like I had to. I
It's like
remember.
an old
I had to dig out an episode.
old episode from the past. Yeah, but either way, man, happy to do it, man. I'm glad you've been on this journey with me.
It was
So-
in San Marcos.
Oh yeah, when I was in,
Yeah.
that's right, that's right. We had a trip in San Marcos for my son's basketball, for Nate's basketball, and we pulled it through, bro.
Yeah.
We pulled it through. So let's go into the POV, man.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about it. POV again is point of view. We either Reed will show me a clip or we'll talk about something related to current events, kind of get a reaction, and let's see what's going on here. Here we go. And none of this I've seen before.
People will be regarded more as statistics than as actual people.
I don't think it's going to be so nice. I think sort of all machines everywhere, everyone doing everything for you. You know, you'll get all bored, and I don't think it'll be so nice.
First of all, computers are taking over now. Computers and automation. And in the year 2000, there just won't be enough jobs to go around, and the only jobs there will be for people with high HQ, high IQ, who can work computers and such things. And other people are just not going to have jobs. There just aren't going to be jobs for them to have.
That's it.
Wow, man, as I watched that video, how prescient these kids are. It's exactly where we are. I mean, they may have thought about it happening sooner than it actually has happened, but they're right on point. AI, technology, computers taking over things, replacing jobs. I mean, there's a fully automated McDonald's now somewhere, I think in California, where you order.
That and also fully like this has been going on, the fully automated grocery store, but that's been going on for years.
Yeah,
though.
going for years. So these kids are right on point, man. I love technology, but I love technology, how it can enhance our lives. I don't love it on how it's being intended to replace our lives. Technology is a tool that should be used to enhance our human existence, but when it's replacing our human existence, that's problematic.
Yeah.
And these kids, so prescient, man. As I say, the dots are always there. It's up to you to connect them. These kids, they connected the dots really early. Just 1960, computers just coming out. I think the PC is not even out yet. Laptop's not even out yet. Internet's not even out yet.
I think it was
Telecommunications,
just coming up. Yeah.
It was just coming out. So in any case, how intuitive and prescient these kids are to know that this is the direction of where it is. Now that also shows that in that era, kids weren't so distracted with technology and social media. And so you had really time to think, be mentally bored and think about life instead of being on this constant stimulation or distraction. And I think the youth these days are missing out on a huge opportunity by constantly being distracted and constantly being stimulated. True creativity and true imagination, visualization happens when you're not distracted, when you're quiet, in a quiet space by yourself in your time. That's why people are like, man, you need to live closer to town, move closer to town. I'm like, no, I like living in the suburbs because that drive time is my quiet time. 20, 30 minutes, just
without traffic.
Without traffic, with traffic even longer. But when I'm not sweating because I'm an aggressive driver,
You cuss a lot.
to myself.
Okay.
But like I get my mind relaxed and calm down and let to just think and imagine and strategize and visualize. And, a lot of these topics I talk about on the podcast, I think about when I'm driving here. 20 minutes, I'm like, oh, I need to talk about this. So my recommendation based on that video is for you all out there, regardless of your age, pull off the distraction. I mean, I know we're posting this on social media. I know we're posting this on YouTube, all these things. But it's technology as communication, love it.
Yeah.
But technology as a replacement of attention and replacement of creativity and replacement of life itself, I think we're getting into an area, a zone where it can become very, very dangerous.
Yeah. I think it also
Right?
just kind of shows that nothing's really changed when it comes to the mindset of people. Like, for example, what I mean by that is like AI is still soaring through, like with the ChatGPT and stuff, and people are afraid that it's going to take over. Like, for example, you said the McDonald's, the automated McDonald's, like these things are still happening and people are saying the same thing. Like in a couple of years, I'll lose this.
Oh, it's gonna happen faster.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen faster. And
Yeah.
here's the thing:
But
it's like
it's not new though. Like,
it's not new,
yeah,
but it's moving aggressively.
yeah,
And when I say replacing the human experience, most people, their job is their life's purpose.
mm-hmm.
And human beings are designed to live with purpose. Like if you have, like, you know, people that retire early, don't have a purpose, they die pretty quick. They don't know what to do with their time. So when you're replacing people's purpose, that's where it gets very dangerous. That's where you get, you know, you might get psychological issues, you know, depressive issues, you know, and then all the shoot off of those things. So, but it's going to happen if we, as a society, let it happen.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, there's very little, if any, legislation around AI.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, people still use ChatGPT for an immediate function, right? Let's say I want to write a paper, ChatGPT. What they don't understand is in the background, the owners of OpenAI or whatever the company is that owns ChatGPT, they're collecting data.
Yeah.
They're spitting out the product for you in the immediacy, but in the long run, they're collecting all this aggregate humankind data being fed in based on the queries.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're getting, quote unquote, a collective consciousness of what people are wanting or thinking at the moment. And that massive amount of data is what actually is the concerning part, because that massive amount of data is essentially what is being used to create the algorithms for a self-autonomous thinking AI consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
or what they call the singularity, where I think it's called the singularity,
Yeah.
where the AI develops its own consciousness.
Yeah. So we're just saying it's like improving day by day, like in rapid speed, and just because
I
of
don't
the
want to say
inputs.
improving, it's growing day by day.
Yeah.
Growth is not an improvement necessarily. But the algorithms pushing the development of AI continually is expanding on a daily. Yeah, so I think AI is just advancing rapidly and growing rapidly. But it only grows as much as we feed it,
Yeah.
right? Because AI essentially trying to mimic human thought and consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So the more we feed it, the more it knows humankind and consciousness. But I still go back to, man, like Hollywood is telling you, this might be tinfoil hat time. Hollywood and these movies are telling you what's going to happen, but in the guise of fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you see it in the movies like as a science fiction movie, and you're like, that's great imagination, but it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening, right? The Matrix, real.
Yeah.
It's documentary. Terminator, that might happen because we're going towards AI. We have self-drive flying drones now.
Yeah.
Why isn't that not Skynet? Elon Musk is building Starlink. How is that not like Skynet in the movies? So when you go to the movie, the book and the movie I, Robot with Will Smith, right? That these robots live with 3 cardinal rules.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main rules is, protect humankind. Well, when AI develops its own consciousness and realizes that human beings are generally in this societal framework destructive towards each other,
Mm-hmm.
well, protecting humankind means destroying humankind because you're destroying yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when we look at
So
these,
it's not violating a programmatic rule,
it's not.
but it can still destroy humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Unless we change our culture where we start loving one another, then it's like, okay, yeah, protect humankind from outside enemies.
But it doesn't have to get to that level.
It doesn't have to get to that. So it's like predictive programming, man. Like legit.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, when I see these movies, it's like more of like whoever wrote the script and whoever directed the movie like had this vision. Like, okay, like he's either already predicted this is going to happen, or like he wrote it down because he had an idea. Like, okay, internet is going this way. It might be a cool idea to tell people about this, or just have like a script written down. Like it's a movie, it's entertainment, of course, but I'm pretty sure when they write these things, they have to like come up with something logical or something more.
Nah, man. Well, I would say to generally yes, but I would also say, well, obviously with writings and movies and things, creative people do the research.
Yeah.
But I think the research, from what I understand, some of these really advanced sci-fi movies, they have advanced research they have advanced screenings from like military
Mm-hmm.
that already, like, if
Do you think if these movies didn't exist, people would talk about Terminator, or like people would have these fears? Like we talk about Terminator because we've
Yeah,
seen the movie and we've seen it like because they're hyper realistic and we can visualize it because we
okay,
see it
so
on
so
big
so I
screen.
think so to that question, I think what happens is certain people have certain access to technology information that is way advanced.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we're seeing AI now means that AI has been around for decades.
Yeah.
Right? Why would we all of a sudden get handed AI? Right?
Mhm.
Like the fact that they said, "Oh, we've cloned a human pig," means they've cloned human pig. I'm not human pigs. We've cloned a sheep means that they've been cloning forever.
Mhm.
They just announced that they, when their society was quote ready to hear that they've cloned a sheep, which means theoretically they're cloning humans already.
Yeah. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
That's way bad, man. Because that means technology is being held away from us, the regular people. I don't say the regular people,
Is it
the
the?
quote slaves.
Do you think it's more of the wrong hands kind of thing? Like if we publicize this, people will take advantage of this. So just kind of to have that
I
order.
think people are taking advantage of it already.
Yeah.
Look, if you had,
Do you think that instills even more fear? They'll be like, okay, these if we give them this amount of access,
what I think is that if you have certain knowledge, specific knowledge that's to your advantage,
Mhm.
would you give it away?
No.
Right. So that's where we are.
Logically, no.
It's already being used.
Yeah.
It's already being used, but we don't know it.
Yeah.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Like if I had the goose that lays the golden egg on a daily basis, why would I ever talk about the goose that lays the golden egg?
Yeah.
So if I have this advantageous technology that I'm aware of, why would I share that?
Yeah.
Until it was time to share it.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to understand is like why share it and why not like why share it at all?
Because you have
And or why keep it? Like if it's
because you're
AI
gonna use
things.
because you're gonna use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, then why are you gonna share it? Because I have something superior than what I'm about to share to you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect example. I have a car that runs 800 horsepower,
Mhm.
but I'm hiding it. I'm keeping it a secret. Now I've built a car that runs 1,200 horsepower. Now I'm gonna let go of the 800 horsepower car to the public. Latest and greatest 800 horsepower, $5 million. But they don't know that I already have a 1,200 horsepower car already built that I'm driving secretly.
Mhm.
So you only let people know. You only let people know what's current when you already have something that's more advanced, strategically.
Yeah.
And that deals with technology too.
Mhm.
Like why? I just think that's the way human nature at that level works,
Yeah. That makes sense.
right? So anyway, I mean, back to this clip though. I mean, very prescient for these kids. It's crazy. I mean, looking at that, it's like, damn, if those kids were kids today with that type of intuitiveness and observation, they would run circles around today's kids.
Yeah, but they're already attached to.
The kids that are already attached and distracted.
They don't have time to think.
Yeah. So crazy video though, man. Those kids, I wonder where they are now. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they're the ones that actually developed the technology the kids today are using.
Yeah,
Because that's 1960, they'd be like 70 years old.
could be.
Who knows? All right. Yeah. What's next?
Let's do next. I don't know if you know about Sora.
I don't know about Sora.
Okay, you might have seen this because I refuse to believe you haven't seen this.
Oh, I've seen things where like complete movies are built from AI.
This.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Have you seen
Okay,
these clips?
so we're on the OpenAI website where we're showing AI generated videos from text, and it's looking hyper realistic.
Can you believe this one's AI generated?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like if you saw this on a movie, like this is a drone shot right here.
Is that a real drone shot or is
No,
that an
that's
AI
that's an
generated?
AI generated drone shot.
That's crazy.
Everything's AI generated.
Yeah.
Like there was a dog one which was super. Like look at this one.
Hang on, you're moving too fast, man. Slow down. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of reels, small clips of AI generated. So what's the question then?
Looking at this, what do you think of just a misinformation or like do you think this can cause destruction? This level of access. This isn't public yet, but very soon it will be.
So I think this is all the more reason to unplug, because with this, I mean, you're getting to the point where it's hard from a digital. If you're just staring at a screen, you're getting to the point where it's hold on, stop scrolling, bro.
No, I'm just
You're getting to the point where it's hard to distinguish what's real and what's not real.
yeah.
So why unleash this technology to the public? I'm always being the cynical tinfoil hat guy, because you're easy to manipulate people.
Mm-hmm.
Propaganda. I have a very skewed view because, leaving the Vietnam after the Vietnam War, my parents always warned me about propaganda, about how communists generally control collective thought through propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, I think that's very dangerous because you don't know what's true or not. Who even knows if some of these people are still alive that we're seeing online?
Yeah.
It could be
100%.
It could be entirely AI generated.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video where there's a new AI tool that can take your voice, an aggregate of your social media
Yeah.
clips of yourself, and create a video of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just seeing it from a perspective where, like, for example, president or current president, like you haven't met him, I haven't met him. Like for all I know, he could be like, I'm just let's say it's just 2026 and he could be an AI, for example.
Yeah, anything could be. At this point, anything is AI. So you have to, at least relative to what you see online, you have to have a huge ass dose of skepticism.
Yeah.
Okay, a huge ass dose of skepticism.
Mm-hmm.
If you can unplug, I mean, obviously we use social media and some of this technology for business, but if you can unplug. Go back to books. Go back to real life living. You're gonna live a more rich life, fulfilling life just through social interaction.
Yeah.
Like kids these days, man, they don't even know how to socialize. I'm gonna actually start a business about how to communicate. Simple for teenagers.
Yeah.
Because kids don't know how to communicate in a real way. Like we'll be next to each other, instead of like talking here, it'll be, let me text you something.
Yeah.
They just don't have those skills. So unplugging is huge. Now with this AI generated imagery and video, it's not just pictures, it's full on video.
It's full on video.
Right? And I've seen a full movie, like a 15-minute movie of an AI generated deal, like sci-fi movie. And so like it creates, unless you come in with a heavy dose of skepticism, you may be misled in a huge and detrimental way. Which is, if you believe in a quote they, it's exactly what they want, right? So I think we're on again, same thing with the other one with the kids.
Yeah.
We're getting real close to a fine line of technology being useful or technology being replacement for a lot of things. And to your business, I mean, if you can AI generate video, why would you need a videographer?
No,
Right?
like this is like, if this goes public tomorrow, the stock footage industry is gone.
Well, I don't know about that, but
No.
I'm just saying, like, this affects a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't need to, it affects the creative and design
Yeah. No, I'm telling you.
in the
like,
marketing
if
business.
this goes public tomorrow, the stock footage, like, why would you need stock videos if you can just generate a
you
custom
don't.
one? Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about stock videos. I'm talking about videographers
Yeah.
setting up a studio, going on site.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hollywood, like that whole creative
Yeah.
industry.
Even with actors, like for example, your favorite actor, like You know he exists, but you haven't seen him. So does he exist?
Listen, man, I watched whatever this past spring, summer. I watched Mission Impossible, whatever the latest one. Actually, I forget. 4.
Mm-hmm.
Now, come on, man. Tom Cruise is pushing 70, I guess, 60, 70 years old. And in the movie, he's looking like he's 40.
Yeah.
Like
So-
that,
so, yeah.
you know, there's some CGI, some AI, something there where, you know, and God bless him. I mean, he's still doing these stunts and doing these crazy things and making a ton of ass money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, to your point about actors, video, what you see on screen, who knows what's real and what's not real. So always have a heavy dose of skepticism
Oh yeah.
related to
I
that.
have one more.
Seen this
Okay, one
speech
more.
right here yet? The El Salvador president talking about our financial system. Watch this.
For instance, the financial situation
He said.
of the United States. When I talk to my conservative friends right here, they always tell me that the problem is high taxes. But they're wrong. Of course, high taxes are extremely high here in the United States. I give you
We're
that.
watching the
You're right
president
in that.
of El Salvador giving a speech. I
But
think
that's
it's
not the
CPAC,
real problem.
talking about
The real
financial
problem
system.
is not the high taxes themselves,
Yeah, we'll play the video.
but the fact that they are not even really funding the government. But even those high taxes, higher than a lot of places in the world, but even those taxes are really funding the government.
This is nuts, man.
So who's financing the government?
No, listen.
Government is financed by treasury bonds, paper. And who buys the treasury bonds? Mostly the Fed. And how does the Fed buy them? By printing money. But what backing does the Fed have for that money being printed? The treasury bonds themselves. So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air. Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why did they collect taxes? I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right? If they can print unlimited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not. It's shocking, but it's true. The government is funded by money printing, paper backed with paper, a bubble that will inevitably burst. The situation is even worse than it seems, because if most Americans and the rest of the world were to become aware of this farce, confidence in your currency would be lost, the dollar would fall, and the Western civilization with it. If the next president of the United States doesn't make the necessary policies
So
and
before we
structural
proceed,
change,
like we don't know if this is true. Of course, we're just
sooner or later the
discussing
bubble will
this
burst.
video.
There's still time.
we-
You don't
This is
have
a
to make
disclaimer,
the same mistakes
and
we
also
did in
just
the
like
60s
pay your
and the
taxes. We're not
70s.
telling you to not pay your
can
taxes. We
still
don't want you to
jump.
go in jail.
Listen, man.
The water boils.
Okay, I'm not suicidal, and I got to be careful with what I'm going to say. This is not tinfoil. This is actually how it works. This is actually what he describes. What the president of El Salvador, I don't know what his name is. Forgive me, but what he describes is actually how it's built, how it works. Now, this may be over the head of a lot of people who don't pay attention. That's just working day in, day out to pay bills and stuff. But this is how it works, and so. It's no wonder, right? If you really pay attention to the news, and this, if you are on the path to success and entrepreneurship and building your own future, you have to pay attention to world events, right? You have to pay attention to world events. Why? Because had you been paying attention, you would have participated in this last run in crypto, where Bitcoin now just reached an all-time high of $70,000 a coin. You'd have paid attention to things like these altcoins or alt tokens like Legacy X, where, gosh, we're up like 11,000%. Right? Every 1,000 you put in, it's worth, I don't know, $140,000, $50,000 right now. So you have to pay attention to these things. Now, why, if you've been following Legacy X and what I've been talking about, or any other crypto person, you'd have understood that these, the big money's getting into crypto. Bitcoin ETF got approved, which means an ETF is an electronic traded fund, which allows consumers like the lay person to buy into a fund that holds Bitcoin, right? Soon the Ethereum ETFs are coming up for approval or disapproval. There's just so many dots you could have connected to say, let me just go in on crypto, which for those of you who did, congratulations, man, you up big. Yeah. You're up big. And so the El Salvadorian president, this guy describing to you exactly how it works. What has he been doing in El Salvador? He's been creating an economy based entirely on Bitcoin. He's used government money to buy Bitcoin to the government treasury, and now El Salvador is at a surplus economically. Right? So what he describes is exactly true. And I'm not endorsing one way or the other, but I think you know how I feel. But fiat currency means currency based on nothing. It's just paper money. And so when you think about trustworthiness of something based on nothing, how much trust do you have on fiat currency? Which the dollar right now is fiat currency. It's not based on anything.
Yeah.
It's based on the, quote, trustworthiness of the U.S. economy. Well, how strong is our economy?
We don't know.
Right? Yeah. You have to wonder why all these BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, okay, BRICS nations. It starts with Brazil, Russia, India, China. The BRICS countries, now there's like 26 other countries signed up to join them. Why are they building a new trade framework based entirely on cryptocurrency and getting away from the dollar? Right? Oil, which is a global commodity, used to be traded in what's called the euro dollar.
Yeah. By the way, like, you should definitely watch the Putin interview.
Yeah.
Even he was like, yeah, re-elect Biden. He's a great president.
Well,
like he said it, but like it was pretty like, he said it because he saw an advantage, of course.
Well, let me go back to the euro dollar.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the full Putin interview though, but like the euro dollar used to be used to buy oil globally. So oil was priced in US dollars. These BRICS nations are now pricing oil on their own currencies, moving away from the US dollar. Why is everybody running away from the US dollar? You know, we're at $34 trillion in debt. I want to say, I think it's every 100 days, we owe another $1 trillion in interest as a country. Where's this money coming from? That's like having a $10,000 balance on your credit card at like 50% interest. Are you ever going to crawl out of that debt? So as a country, can we ever crawl out of this debt? You got to really think about these things. Because if we can't, now envision what's going to happen. I don't know. It's never happened. Well, it's happened in the Weimar Republic after World War II in Germany, where they printed forever. Like what's happening in the Weimar Republic is exactly what's happening now. It's literally by the book, page by page. And things did not turn out well for the Weimar Republic. Okay? Society where they were confusing genders and, morality went down the toilet, hyperinflation, bread was like $1,000 a loaf, something crazy. Just like that, where do you think we're headed if we stay on the same path?
If we make the wrong decisions.
Well, who's making the decisions though?
Yeah.
Like collectively, I think we can all come together and make the right ones.
But it all comes down to the selective group. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't know what it comes down to. It comes down to somebody pulling the strings.
Yeah.
But for you, for your protection, you got to be involved. You got to understand what's going on globally. You can't. I know a lot of people struggling just trying to put food on the table with $200 grocery bills that buys reality only $30 worth of food. Right? But you got to be aware of these things to prepare yourself, prepare your family, prepare. The worst time you need insurance is when you actually need insurance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's true.
The worst time to be prepared is when you actually should have been prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So prepare now to the best of your ability. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, 20 million migrants, mostly middle-aged males, coming across the border, getting subsidized, getting better health care, better money than the citizens of the country. Why? You can't tell me it's not real, it's not factual, because it is.
Yeah.
Why?
I think
So-
that's a good note to end the podcast.
Well, no, I mean, 100th episode, it's
Yeah.
about spreading knowledge and spreading, being inspirational. This is to inspire you to really think about these things, get involved, understand what's going on in the world, connect the dots. The dots are all there. The less distracted you are, like these kids in the first video, the more you're able to connect the dots and see the patterns. See, you're an artist of the masterpiece of your life. And a masterpiece is individual paint strokes, individual dots that you paint.
Yeah.
And so just like you're painting that for your life, you have to paint it on a bigger scale of what's going on in the world. And when you understand that, you can actually pivot and maneuver in your business to be ready.
Yeah.
Not just in your personal life, but in your business and career path. So being aware of these things, and if you have any questions of things that you're coming across, send them to me. I'll give you my opinion. My opinion is just as good as yours. But a true leader, a true entrepreneur gets as many opinions as possible, then decides for him or herself. That's how you advance. That's how you lead. But man, usually it's only 2, but you hit me with 3, bro.
Yeah. Because I know
I mean, that first AI stuff was kind of like 1.1
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
1.2. So you actually hit me with
Yeah.
2. But 100th episode, you know me. I'm gonna celebrate episode 100.
Yeah. I already have my coffee.
So I got a bottle here of Adictivo tequila. Listen, they're not sponsoring me. I have no idea who they are. I got this bottle as a gift from a vendor, but I'll tell you what, it's an añejo. It's one of the best tequilas I've had to drink
Show it to the
neat,
camera.
straight. So right here. So Adictivo tequila. I'm happy to take free bottles if you want to send them my way. But this, one of the best, if not the best tequilas I've had. I'm gonna pour you one anyways, bro, because you've been with me since day one. If you don't drink it, I guess I'm doing a double shot. But as I do this, I'm gonna end this episode as I end my days. If you're new to the show, I always, before my head hits the pillow in my bed and I close my eyes, I thank God, the universe, for another day, another opportunity to have lived, to share in love and life, to share my knowledge and experience, to help inspire others, to create better opportunities. So with that, I want to thank my audience who's been with me for 100 freaking episodes, y'all. We did this, but here's the great news. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
So 100 episodes, haven't skipped a week, haven't missed a beat. I just want to say thank you for liking, following, commenting, sharing, supporting. Lot of new good things coming through. Just got to get my ass to find time to do it because it's just getting buried with Legacy X and Cure Connector and all these other things. But a lot of things coming around the pipe for the podcast. Just being grateful and thankful. I always go back to the original episode 1, the one I tried to do by myself in the studio, where I go heavy into gratitude. I'll probably re-up on that topic soon. But for me, it's all about gratitude. It's all about gratitude. If you're just grateful for the positive and negative things in your life, you're going to live a fulfilled life, because It's not about the money. It's about your total fulfillment and your total growth as a human. And the money and all the nice cars and all that, it's just a byproduct. If you live a fulfilled life, it's gonna just gonna happen to you. So with that, cheers to episode 100. Be great today, but be even more grateful. Looking forward to many, many more episodes coming around the pipeline. Cheers to you all in the audience. Thank you very much. Ninja, Prolific Ninja here, Dr. Yun Win, your host. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting the show and looking forward to growing it for many, many years to come. Cheers to episode 100. Bro.
Cheers, episode
Cheers.
100.